Hey everyone, ever wonder what made some rock songs so controversial that they got banned? Well, today we're diving into 10 of the most controversial rock songs from the 80s that were actually banned. And trust me, the stories behind them are as rock and roll as it gets. Stick around and let's get into it. Let's start things off with a big one, Ozzy Osbourne's Suicide Solution. That was the song that, upon its release in 1980 as part of Blizzard of Oz, became infamous for its dark subject matter. In fact, the title in and of itself chafed enough to have critics accusing Ozzy of condoning suicide. Matters only got worse when the song got connected with the tragic suicide of a teenager. By the time Ozzy explained that it had been about addiction and not about suicide, it was too late. Such critics claim that the song romanticized self-injury and received bans in several places because of it. Ozzy was even sued by the family of the teenager. The court dismissed the case. Slayer's Angel of Death off the Rain and Blood album is brutal, raw, and very graphic. The song describes all of the atrocities in detail that were committed by Josef Mengele during the Holocaust. Therefore, most people find this song reprehensible and banned in most German countries. This tune, despite being quite controversial, has been named a thrash metal anthem. Despite its brutal subject matter, Angel of Death became a defining moment for Slayer and thrash metal. However, its disturbing content was too much for many to handle. Queen's Body Language became one of the most controversial songs in 1982. Because of its homoerotic overtones and very suggestive lyrics. This song marked Queen's stepping into electronic music and got banned by MTV and several radio stations because of its suggestion. The music video containing sensual images added fuel to the fire. It only made the song more infamous after its ban, having been a very bold moment in Queen's career, considering the band's progressive attitude towards sex and image at the time. Judas Priest's Electric Eye off Screaming for Vengeance criticizes government surveillance, with the song's dystopian lyrics touching a raw nerve early in the 80s. This song raised speculation about privacy and censorship on certain radio outlets in the US. With its political undertones and rebellious vibe, Electric Eye became a hit among metalheads but was deemed too controversial for mainstream airwaves. Iron Maiden's The Trooper. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back. Inspired by the charge of the Light Brigade during the Crimean War, was in for some backlash with its explicit depictions of war and death. The graphic imagery led to bans on some stations but remains one of Iron Maiden's most iconic tracks, celebrated for its historical narrative and energetic performance. Despite the controversy, the song was engraved as one of the band's best, with an excitable message about war atrocities. Twisted Sister's We're Not Gonna Take It became a rebellious anthem for youth in 1984. But its aggressive tone led to accusations of promoting violence and rebellion. The song, From Stay Hungry, was banned by some radio stations due to its confrontational nature. Despite the backlash, We're Not Gonna Take It remains a rallying cry for defiance, symbolizing the spirit of youth resistance against authority. Dead Kennedy's Holiday in Cambodia was a sharp critique of political elites, consumer culture, and societal ignorance. Released in 1980, the song became notorious for its satirical and darkly humorous lyrics, which were seen as an attack on the privileged class. The song's bold critique of political oppression and privilege caused it to be banned from several radio stations, as conservative groups were outraged by its audacity. Despite this, it became a cult anthem for rebellion and defiance in the punk rock scene. Influenced by Albert Camus' The Stranger, the song Killing an Arab by The Cure was controversial in its title and lyrics. Highly misunderstood as encouraging violence. In fact, this track was banned or censored in a few areas for the provocative name of the song.
Standing on the beach with a gun in my hand, staring at the sea, staring at the sand.
While The Cure made it clear that the song was a philosophical reflection, it was censored in many areas due to the sensitive nature of its title and themes. Despite the controversy, the song remains an iconic track in The Cure's catalog. Fade to Black by Metallica off Ride the Lightning is about depression and suicide. The song was dark and introspective, which made it a favorite of many fans, but also got it banned from some radio stations because its subject matter was considered too disturbing. Despite the bans, Fade to Black is among Metallica's most emotional and resilient songs. It gives listeners a chance to have catharsis. When Guns N' Roses released One in a Million in 1988,
You know we tried to reach you, but you were much too high.
it almost immediately became one of the most infamous songs of the decade. Foul language, racism, and homophobia were used within the lyrics. The song was banned from many outlets, and the backlash was heavy.
Police and niggas, that's right. Get out of my way.
While the band called it a song about problems within society, it caused such fierce protests that it was pulled off a number of radio stations. Controversy stirred by One in a Million brought a dark note to Guns N' Roses' career, although the band would later express their regret over using the offensive lyrics. So long, guys. 10 most provoking banned rock songs in 80s culture. Among the ones featured, did any surprise you? You find another good fit for banned tunes from 80s rock and its culture? Put it right below in the comments. I can't recommend much cooler than hitting like, subscribe, and getting notifications for cool histories of songs nobody wants you to know by ringing a lovely bell right about it.